Everyone across social media keeps asking the same question. Who are Aston Villa signing next? But I actually think we're asking the wrong question, because one £70 million player is not, unfortunately, going to become the next Christian Benteke. They're not the second coming of Jack Grealish, or even Juan Pablo Angel, the GOAT. Aston Villa's season is going to be decided by 7 decisions made by our man in charge, Unai Emery. And these decisions Unai Emery has to get right over the next 9 months. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Terrace View. Let's get into it. Question 1, are we about to lose Ollie Watkins? Now, a few weeks ago, if someone told me that Aston Villa are going to lose Ollie Watkins, I'd have laughed. Today, here and now, I'm not so sure. These reports linking him to Turkey and Manchester United just won't go away. We all know that Jacob Tanswell and other reporters have been reporting this now for weeks. The uncertain Nicholas Jackson transfer gets played out and questioned every single day on social media. I'm still not quite sure how we pull that one off. And Aston Villa are even open to the idea of selling Tammy Abraham. Maybe it's just smart planning, or maybe this is all just transfer gossip and nothing. But I will tell you one thing, there is no smoke without fire, and our club won't start planning contingency plans unless our number 9 is potentially leaving. Now, let's be clear. Ollie Watkins isn't just some average Premier League striker. He's Aston Villa's all-time leading Premier League goal scorer. Yes, he might blow hot and cold, and yes, we might have every right to question him from the whole end, but he's dragged us through season after season in the Premier League. There's no questioning that. He's become one of the faces of Aston Villa Football Club in recent years. So this isn't some Sky Sports journalistic question of how do Villa replace his goals. It's more, can Villa replace what he does for the team? Because it's fact, when Ollie Watkins is on it, that Aston Villa starting 11 is a better team for it. I think we can all be guilty of questioning Ollie in front of goal sometimes, and we have an absolute right to. The amount of easy chances he seems to fluff. But what you can't question is how he leads the line for our football club. And if he leaves, this entire question changes, which brings us on to question number 2. Forget replacing Morgan Rogers with Morgan Rogers. Those players don't grow on trees. The bigger question is, how does Emery replace what Rogers brings to our Aston Villa team? I'm talking creativity, ball carrying, goals, the ability to create something out of nothing for this team, a connection between attack and midfield. Now, Villa have been linked with plenty of names. Now, these links seem to have gone somewhat quiet. I think a lot depends on whether Bailey's going to leave the club, and I say that because this morning it has been reported that the move to Hull might actually be off the cards. The Mbai situation, one that actually excited Villa fans, it seems to be off the cards. The geezer seemed to have some weird demands through his entourage, and his attitude apparently stinks, if you're to believe everything you read on social media. I don't know, man, it all just smells a bit dodgy to me. Now, there are 4 or 5 other links as well. Unfortunately, they're not from reputable sources, so believe what you will on X. But all of this actually tells me that Villa haven't actually settled on one player yet. They're waiting, they're assessing, they're being methodical, they're being patient. Does that remind you of anybody? After everything we've learned under Unai Emery, would you expect anything else? So let me ask you, out of every player linked so far, who excited you the most? It could have been the Jared Bowen links. Now, unfortunately, he's staying at West Ham. It could be Mbai. Would you give him a chance, although his attitude seems to stink and his entourage just seem to ask for random ass things? Drop it in the comments, because I'd genuinely like to know what you guys are thinking or what you guys are reading. There's so much out there, like I say, from all these different sources. What do you hear that excites you as a Villa fan? You want to see him playing out on the wing? I genuinely don't think there's a wrong answer, but what I do know is replacing Rodgers is not going to be a simple task. Somebody is going to have to step up, which brings us on nicely to Evan Guessand. Now, when he arrived, a lot of Villa fans got carried away. They watched the compilations on YouTube and they thought, decent. Sign him up and get him on the pitch right now. But fast forward a few weeks and it turns out the geezer runs around in Timberland boots and looks like a very, very average Sunday League player, man. If you ask most Villa fans, the guy's barely a squad player. And after 6 months, he was given his marching orders by Unai Emery, who had to ship him out on loan to Crystal Palace, where, to be fair to Palace, they got behind him. They thought he was the second coming of Jesus. They treated him like prime Zaha. Don't ask me why. Morgan Rogers has gone. Leon Bailey looks all but gone. Please. Watkins has question marks, and suddenly, our man Gizon is being thrown into the starting 11, let alone fighting for minutes. He's been given a great opportunity to show what he's got this pre-season, and by the looks of things, after last night's friendly, not a lot. I mean, is this bloke actually ready? What were Crystal Palace fans hyping him about? I mean, is this a player that we can trust in the Champions League? Or do Unai Emery and Arblay go, look, we need another player in, sharpish? But I'll say one thing. If Evan Guessand was to go on and explode this season, Aston Villa come out of this smelling of roses, because that loan to Crystal Palace all of a sudden is a genius idea. But I'm with the majority of the fan base on this one, and I really don't think it's going to work, unfortunately, Evan. And we're very much back into the same situation where we need to make another signing, ideally as quick as possible. Does that mean like the Bailey situation where we have to ship Gizon out first before we can bring somebody else in? this transfer window, man. And that brings us on to another mind-blowing question, which none of us saw coming before the World Cup kicked off. And this is where it gets serious, because there's no questioning that Amadou Onana's ACL injury has made a massive impact on Uncle Unai's tactical plans for this season. He's not out for a month. He's not out just till Christmas. It's the season. Now, in fairness to the club and Arblay, they acted quick. João Gomez through the door. A man Zambi can play as a box-to-box midfielder. That's nearly £90 million invested. Pretty sharpish, you have to admit. We're not used to seeing transfer windows move this quickly. Clearly, the club knew they had to react. But does replacing Amadou Onana mean buying players? Or can he be replaced in another way? Because let's look at this. What do we have to replace in Amadou Onana? We're talking power. We're talking surprising athletic ability for a big lad. We're talking that last-ditch gangly tackle which he loves to make and win possession back for the team. Those attributes just aren't easy to replace. You can't just go out and buy another Amadou Onana. There's a reason Villa had to pay £50 million for him from Everton. And let's be serious here. If our Rolls Royce of a player, Boubacar Kamara, picks up his yearly injury, this is just yet more headache for Unai Emery. And the pressure on these new signings becomes enormous. Because remember, like last season, this isn't just about the Premier League anymore. This is about European competition. Which brings me on to question 5. Is Villa's squad actually strong enough? Every Villa fan will tell you for the last 2 or 3 years that our squad depth is not strong enough. I mean, look at Matty Cash at right back. He has had no real competition for 2 to 3 seasons. And the squad depth, I have to admit, is a bit meh. With everything going on, the timing of all this makes the fan base a little bit, well,
Don't get nervous, but I'm starting to get a bit shaky, you know what I mean? I'm a little bit worried.
I mean, the Super Cup against PSG is literally days away. Then you have the Premier League, you have the Champions League, which we're all excited about. Then you have the domestic cups and competitions. These games are being rolled out every 3 to 4 days throughout the whole season, touch wood if we stay in them, which Uncle Unai will be planning, by the way. He wants to win the lot. Now, last season, when injuries hit, our form dropped. It fell off a cliff, and it is okay to admit that, Villa fans. But this season, the demands are even bigger. We're playing in the Champions League, the elite of the elite. The quality of the opposition has gone up a few gears. That's why replacing Rodgers, replacing Onana, potentially replacing your top goal scorer, Ollie Watkins, these conversations are all connected because Emery has shown he won't rotate on players he does not trust. And that brings us on to the question which Aston Villa fans know very well, but your average Premier League fan just can't quite get their head round. Now, this one does my absolute fucking nutting. Every time Villa sell a player, all you'll hear on Twitter or down the pub from other fans is, well, Aston Villa have sold somebody, why don't they just spend that money on new players? And when we do actually sign someone, it's all you lot do is moan about money, and here you are splashing the cash on people. Educate yourselves, you fools. There is more to football than just your football club. Wake up. The rules are bent, and your club probably isn't going to make it into the top 6 because of these rules. Since the start of 23-24, Aston Villa has the lowest net spend of any football club, relegated or promoted. In the Premier League, let that sink in, the lowest, around minus 62 million. Now, that's thanks to our mates at PSR. UEFA coming through with some serious rules, along with the squad cost ratio rules. Nice one, lads. Thanks. Now, that's due to wages. That's due to smart recruitment. I think that's why, internally, the Villa hierarchy, they're not panicking. They're saying, look, lads, we've done this for a little while now. Stick with us. Because these lot, they're building sustainably. And let's be honest, I think Unai Emery would rather wait for the right player than shit the bed and sign the wrong player. I mean, let's just look at last season with Harvey Elliott. Monchi had an absolute shocker, panicking the last minute and getting him and Jadon Sancho through the door. That's why Unai would rather wait 2 or 3 weeks to sign the right player rather than just snapping at any old deal, any old piece of crap some other club doesn't want. Now, that leaves one question. Have our expectations become too unrealistic? And I think back 3 years. If I'd have told myself 3 years ago that Villa would be in a European semi-final, qualify for the Champions League, then win the Europa League, then qualify for the Champions League again, I'd asked you if you were on smack. You'd have called me mental, and mate, I would have had to have a word with myself. Yet here we are. And some Villa fans will actually get angry and tweet away all sorts if they don't get the top 4 again this coming season, not realising how much of a bigger job that actually is. And to be honest, it tells you everything that Unai Emery has built at this football club. The expectation has changed. Yes, it is worse on social media. You don't hear it so much down Villa Park. In general, it's not as bad as most of the fan base have become entitled pricks. Somebody said on one of my reels the other day, let's not start acting like the Big Six cartel. And you know what? He's absolutely right. But it's because Unai Emery has earned it. Over the 3 years in which he's been here, he has taken us to skies and limits which we couldn't have dreamed of. And every season, somehow, he moves this football club forward. But right now, Unai Emery faces the hardest challenge of his Aston Villa career so far, having to rebuild his squad all over again while selling his best players. These financial restraints are making Unai Emery's job that bit more harder. So there we have it, ladies and gents. 7 huge questions. And honestly, I don't think anybody has the answers except for one man. The man who's going to lead this club to further glory. In that, I truly believe. But all of this and all of these restraints make it that much more exciting as a football fan. I hate the financials, but it gives us something else to talk about. So I want to know, guys, which one worries you the most? Is it replacing Morgan Rogers? Is it keeping hold of Ollie Watkins? Is it putting our faith in Evan Guessand? And more importantly, can we address this squad depth? Or are you just like me? In Unai Emery, we trust. Let's just sit back, relax, and let Uncle Unai do his thing whilst we marvel in the great football he gets our club playing. And that is all she wrote, ladies and gents. That is a wrap for this week's Terrace View. I've been your host, Jay. I'd appreciate if you could hit that like and subscribe button. It helps the channel massively. And if you've made it this far, drop UTV in the comments. I want to get back to you guys. I love the discussions in the comments we've been having recently on videos and reels. Let's keep this community growing. Until then, I'll see you in the next one. As always, it's come on me bummies and up the bloody Villa.
Up the Villa.